Hi guys, now here's an overview of the 3 prosthetics that I own. What do we have here? That's a Sea Leg 4 by Otterbock. Nice unit. I got that through the NHS, can't complain. This one here is the Genium X3 I bought myself in 2014. That's the flagship out of the 3, although this one's out of warranty. And over here, a 3R80 with a Genium X3 cover so that it doesn't look so skinny under the trouser leg, etc. Now, these 2 units have in common a very similar hydraulic cylinder unit. There you go. Now, the Sea Leg 4 being, like I said, splash proof, rain proof, general weather resistant, that's fine. The Genium, however, is submergible up to 3 metres for a certain length of time. I think it's something like an hour or 2. So, and that's also submergible in seawater, which makes it a really good. Well, it's a militarised leg. They developed it so the army veterans were the ones to first get these, and if you were a civilian, you had to, like myself, you had to pay for them. Now, the pricing, Otterbock do not tell you what you have to pay for these things. You've got to find out through the clinics that you go through. You can't approach Otterbock and say, "Oh, how much is one of those legs, please?" Or "How much is a couple of those legs?" No, you can't say that. They say, "Go and refer yourself to the clinic and speak to the prosthetist, and they will tell you what you need to know." They're very close guarded, this sort of thing. They don't even tell you when new models come out. They just sort of pop out. Anyway, so to buy these ones through the clinic, for example, here in the UK, you're talking for the Sea Leg 4, £22,000. Now, they've discontinued the Genium X3. Great leg. Like I say, mine's out of warranty. All these legs come, these electro-hydraulic legs come with a 6-year package. So they want to tie you in to a 6-year package, which is kind of hilarious really for the amount of money you're spending. And then once you're out of that, they don't want to know you. Now, these were £70,000. The new replacement Genium X4 is £90,000. And you get the same 6-year package. They look after you brilliantly once you're in there. And once you've reached the 6-year limit, you're out on your own, and the new legislation means you can't even have these serviced by the company. You can't say, "Otterbock, can you service this leg? Here's a few grand, slip you a few grand here, can you refresh this knee?" No. You've got to buy a brand new unit. So these kind of units, unless there's people out there who can sort of do a sort of like independent service, there's very few. I believe there might be 1 or 2. I'm aware of one, but haven't tried that person yet, so I can't comment. But I mean, they're very specialist pieces of equipment, and you're paying a lot for research and development. I just don't think that the way that they put you in for a 6-year, because it's classed as a medical device, a 6-year like lifespan is a bit wasteful, really. I mean, some of these prosthetics can go for 10-15 years. This one still works fine, no problems, no hydraulic oil leaks, no real build-up of air in the system, and they do have they've got self-purging valves in there, but they can, over time, like this one here, I've done a lot of treadmill walking on this, and this one is due for a service very soon, end of this year. Now this one's kind of, you can hear the air crunching inside it, but the unit's not going to fail. I mean, it's nice and dry, the cylinder's dry. What normally happens is, now when I was part of the private clinic and having this one serviced, like I say, they looked after me fantastically, like all they do with all the clients, but they don't tell you what to do with these legs. They go off, they get shipped off, you get a courtesy leg, like a car, you get a courtesy leg so you can come back, walking out that clinic without hopping, for example, and then you know your leg is in the, it's in the queue to get repaired, basically, over in Germany or Austria, back at the Otterbock Centre. the main sort of like build centre, and you'll get a fantastic, fully tight. It feels like a brand new leg. Well, it might as well be a brand new leg when you get it back, because what they'll do is they will, without disclosing really what exactly they've done to the knee unit, they refresh everything, seals, new oil. These got to be filled in vacuum chambers, these, to get the exact sort of reliability and feel and fit. You can't just get a load of like car jack oil and try and fill these cylinders. They've got to be done in a proper environment, and they're filmed in a vacuum chamber. So yeah, there's quite a lot of complex things in there. I mean, seals degrade over time, they harden, and then hydraulic fluid, that's going to start eventually leaking, and what you might end up with is like a sort of catastrophic, a fail of the cylinder. So you'll lose a lot of pressure, and the knee will suddenly go into a wild dip. It'll drop you. So you don't want that when you're walking across the street near a bus, do you? Yeah, but I mean, I've not tried any of the companies. There's also the Power Knee. Obviously, Ottobock do these silent hydraulic knees, and yeah, the 3R80. That's a really good off-grid leg because there's no charging involved. It's got a rotary hydraulic unit with some basic load sensors in, so it doesn't react half as quickly as the electro-hydraulic knee units, but it's a really good leg when you get used to it. Very robust. Be tough to break that one. And basically good for camping, good for it's got good slope descent control. So obviously when you're walking down steep slopes, it's got plenty of resistance in that rotary unit, which basically swivels like that. Good stuff. I think to buy these privately it'll be probably about £8,000 in the UK. That one's an HS as well. And then you can get different sort of types of feet, whatever. This one's a Triton heavy duty, which is a really good robust foot, carbon fibre. They're like small blades inside them. They look like mini running blades, to be honest. And they're a sort of a carbon fibre composite. That's a more basic one than that one, under that pile trouser rush. So yeah, they look good. You can get customised cases for them, and yeah, there's even a turntable, so you can sort of spin. On this one, you can spin the whole leg around to get. If you're wearing the leg, you can get to the shoe. You can rotate it with the turntable there, same as that one. These are very easy to swap over, so that carbon fibre pot will go straight on there. You've got grub screws here, and basically the lead screw, depending on the direction you want, needs to be wound in first. If I want this alignment forward, I pull this screw in forward, and then I tighten up the rear. Same for the sort of sideways direction. You want to lead the direction you want the alignment to be in. So if I want to pull the socket towards my inner thigh, I'm basically leading with this screw in further. So it's something really easy. I mean, the clinics do this for most people, but when you're like me and you know how to put a leg together, they're not very easy to put a leg together. Same for the foot. You can adjust the foot level up and down. Now here's a good tip for people who have these legs. Now what I would do, rather than messing on with the angle of the foot, when you get a good setup and it's relatively comfortable for a regular pair of shoes, you'll find that if I switch to a sort of a flatter pair of shoes or a steeper pair of shoes with a larger heel on, what happens is it feels like the toe drops forward, and it feels like the knee's going to go into a yield. So it's going to sort of like feels like it's kind of sort of going to go like, it's going to drop like that a bit. So what you can do rather than messing around with the total foot alignment is get a few insoles from another pair of shoes, or buy a set of insoles, and you can basically layer them up inside the shoe, and you can maybe cut one in half or a couple in half. That's what I do with some of these. So these feet all behave differently because they're slightly aligned in different ways. So what I do is I'll put a couple of insoles, chopped insoles in the front. So I've got a half an insole through the front there, and that'll just, if the toe feels like it's too low, that'll lift the toe up, and it gives us a more stable, less yielding knee. And you feel like you can walk more naturally, so you're not having to work the leg to maintain the uprightness. I mean, obviously the hydraulics catch you, but it's a lot more comfortable. And yeah, the Genium is joggable. There's a program where you can jog on this now. These legs actually, through an Otterbock app, connected to an Otterbock app, and you can adjust settings on the fly with these units. So if I want to change resistance, the overall walking resistance in basics walking mode, then I can adjust the resistance, swing phase, and a few other settings like that. And depending on the user weight, you see, depends on how heavy you are, you're going to want a leg that's got a bit more resistance in. It's great for going down steep hills because then you're not dipping too much. It's not sort of yielding too quickly, and you have more control. And these are great for going downstairs. These ones. This one, you can, but I don't. It doesn't have. It's not quick enough for me to comfortably do stair over stair. So these ones though, yep, half a foot over the stair. Load up the leg, and it'll just lower you down. And obviously, they're great. I mean, all these legs work well for carrying sort of gym equipment, different weights, kettlebells, dumbbells. The two hydraulic ones are better for adapting to different shoe weights, and the swing phase is quicker on these, so you end up, I think you can have a quicker gait with these two. I mean, I can go pretty fast on that. Now I will say, it's great having 3 legs, yeah, a wardrobe of legs, but you've got to, basically when you change them, you've got to get used to that leg you just put on, that new leg you put on for a few days, because you'll end up with a bit of stomach cramp usually. So they're not all, you don't set that is not exactly aligned like this one, vice versa. But you soon get used to it, and yeah, it's nice to have a backup. I tell you, the great thing about the Genium X3, and the X4 looks amazing, but the X4 is £90,000 now. This X3 here, it still works. It works fab. It's got a great battery life, 5-6 days on a full charge, and this one's still running pretty strong. You see leg 4 though, you push a couple of days, so not the best in terms of battery capacity, but overall it didn't cost me anything, so I can't complain, and it's better than hopping around like a madman. Yeah, no charger on that one. Oh, I love the sci-fi look. I hate those covers, those horrible hairy leg covers. They're disgusting. These are what you want. You want to be rocking these boys. Or maybe in a case that's kind of like, you know, a custom design case. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. Love the carbon fibre underneath. Makes it nice and strong, robust. There's the heatsink, and that will get very hot when you're walking down a lot of steep slopes, terrain. Heat up a lot on the treadmill. Like I say, you can adjust these. They've got cycling modes. This one's obviously got more features than this one, and it reacts quicker. Being the militarised leg, it's also like I say, sea waterproof if you need to go in the sea. And yeah, I mean, that's the basic way they work. Is load sensing equipment based on the action tubes that will send the data to the chip. The program works out, you know, through probably algorithms and the whatever, what the best sort of state the valves need to be open at that specific point in time. So it'll take so many cycles, so many measurements per second, and that data just gets sort of like that load data just gets force data, accelerometer data gets turned into a sort of signal control for the cylinder valve servo assembly. So that valve servo assembly opens or closes those little valves precisely in that at that time to the desired clearance. So obviously you've got an open valve, a very open valve. You're going to flow a lot of oil, and that's going to make the piston very sort of like quick, smooth, and low tension, low resistance. Now you turn those valves in, and they move. You know, these are moving. These are varying consistency all the time, like position all the time. Yeah, you get those valves tight in there when you're going down a slope. That will give maximum resistance that's desired to allow you to continue down that slope, giving you plenty of resistance there. And there's even a function inside where the leg will actually, you stand on this in a certain way, and it'll actually, I think it's the same on both of those ones, not that one, that works on a different principle. These two will actually lock up solid, so you can rest your full weight on them. That's all automated, so that's the load positioning on the foot, through the foot up into the knee joint. So I like the tech. It's interesting stuff. I mean, I miss my leg, rather have the leg, but these are great things. And I'm always excited when a new product comes out, even though, you know, who has 90 grand scratched around in the pocket they say, well, you got compensation from your work accident, you should be able to buy this, that and the other. Realistically, who has the money, who has the fucking money to keep buying every 6 years one of these? And that's why it's a bit criminal that they write them off, the medical devices, and I guess it prevents them from potential lawsuits if anything goes wrong. But I mean, I think they should definitely allow people to have these serviced at a reasonable price, and it would give far more amputees who don't have the money to buy these outright a chance to have more quality of life and more mobility. So if you've either got compensation to buy them or stacks of cash, otherwise you'll not be getting one of these. I mean, yeah, NHS, it's great in the UK now, we're getting these and those. Genome X3, like I say, the superior out of the three. Fantastic, it's been out since at least 2013. It was the benchmark, probably the best prosthetic out you could get. Better than the Electro, better than the Ossa Power Knee in terms of, you know, this one's silent, waterproof. Doesn't have a 10-hour battery like the Power Knee. The Power Knee walks great. I had a quick trial of it, but it's harder to engage the modes, and stairs are a lot better on the Power Knee until you get used to one of these. But this does everything and more, and it's like I say, it's way more robust. But yeah, I mean, just a shame that there's not like an out of warranty, like a service allowance for people to have these, because then, you know, you could put these on the second-hand market, say it's been signed off, someone knows they're going to have a safe leg to walk on, and at a good price, and it would give a lot of people out there just, you know, an experience of a better quality of life, because there's people just cannot, if you can't even get these, £8,000 in the UK, I'd say around about that. I mean, that's a lot of money. It's a fucking lot of money, that. Yeah, you can get so there's all sorts of products on the market. You can get like mechanical legs, VGK or something like that. There's There are a lot of simple legs out there. Some of them do pretty well, but a lot of people end up with the most basic. I mean, if more people could get onto the electronic ones, they would be amazed. But that's a little description on the old wardrobe legs there.